All right, let's compare the Garmin Montana 750i to the Spot X. They're nearly the same size. The Montana is definitely heavier and a little bit larger, but is that all there is to it? Is there more? Let's talk about it. Well, the first thing I want to bring up is the satellite coverage. The Garmin products have global pole-to-pole coverage. I don't care if you're in the ocean or at the North and South Pole. You can get satellite coverage with the Garmin products. Spot X is not the same. It does get great coverage over North America, South America, and Europe and places like that. I'll have an image on the screen, but it is not global pole-to-pole coverage. So if you're going to use it, or if you're going to use the Spot Gen 4, make sure where you're traveling has coverage. Now, both of these can contact SOS and they can two-way message. That is a great thing about these. That's probably the number one thing you want when you have a satellite communicator. Now, you may want to be able to navigate, but that's, to me, secondary. Contacting SOS and two-way messaging the search and rescue teams or your family and friends is the number one most critical item. Now, this Garmin Montana 750i, one, it'll take photos. The 700i does not take photos, and the photos you can geo-reference. So you take the photos, you see where it's at, you want to go back to a fishing hole, then you can see what it actually looks like and navigate directly to it. The Montana also has a touch screen, and you can get turn-by-turn driving instructions in the city or in the mountain. It's a huge screen. The thing about this one is the battery will go dead within a day, so you need to be able to charge it regularly. Now, I have a suction cup mount in my truck, and it has a charging cable that comes out the bottom, so all I do is put it in that holder, and I can drive. It's charging while I'm using it. I never have to worry about it. Same thing if you're using it in a Jeep or an ATV. Just make sure it's mounted and you have the ability to charge while you're driving or out and about. Or maybe not charging while you're driving, but maybe you charge when you need to. Just make sure you have that ability. So the Montana has weather forecasts. The Spot X does not. Now, there is a way to get weather forecasts through a third party, but it is kind of cumbersome. You have to send a text and then they send you a forecast. I don't really like that. You can do it. Just wanted to let you know about it. So it really, in my opinion, doesn't do weather forecasts. The other thing the Spot X doesn't do is it doesn't navigate very well. You can put in a waypoint, but it's a direct line of sight, so you have to then work your way around through a forest or a river or rocks, whatever it might be, and then you can't see it on the map. All you see is the arrow. It'll give you direction, distance, but you can't see the detail on this for navigating as you can with the Montana. I highly recommend both of these. Now, if I'm going to recommend one or the other, I'm going to tell you to go with the Garmin Montana 750i, because one, I love taking photos of where I've been as a waypoint, but also this is really not good for hiking, in my opinion. It's so big. Now, they're both big, but this Spot X is probably half the weight, so it's not as bad as carrying as the Montana. I've talked to the Garmin tech support and they agree this is not meant for hiking and backpacking. My buddy Mike from Mike and Rick Outdoors, he puts it on his pack and packs it around. It's just sitting up there and I'm like, oh my goodness, I see him and I'm like, it just drives me nuts. All right, but anyway, it's for off-roading, it's for driving. That's what it's for. This Spot X is not for driving. You can't navigate with it. It is for using on hikes and backpacking trips or camping. The one thing I gotta mention though is this has a built-in keypad. It's much easier to type out messages than most satellite communicators. Now, I will say this is fairly easy to type out a message on because it has the numbers and letters on the screen, and the screen's so big you can do that. But this is meant for your pack. You just strap it on your pack, and it's not that heavy at all compared to the Montana, but it is a backpacking or hiking satellite communicator. Well, there you have it. The biggest things I would say about these is cannot navigate on the Spot X. You don't have full global pole-to-pole coverage on the Spot X, which you do on the Montana. However, the difference is vehicle, off-roading versus backpacking, built-in keyboard. So check out some information in the description below where I will show you the field test for the Montana 750i and a field test for the Spot X. You'll learn a lot more. I know I did. So thanks for joining me here at Outdoor Emergency Tech, and I'll see you back in Colorado in the next video.